What's going on, my friends? Welcome to episode 4 of the Get Your Game On podcast, bringing you the hot takes, latest stories, and spicy picks surrounding New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, national, and international sports. Hosted by yours truly, Adam Grassani, joined as always by Michael Cunningham, Alex Reich, David Heller, and Chris Kern. You can listen to the podcast right now on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at GetYourGameOnP. And with all that said, it's time to get your game on. All right, welcome back. How's everyone doing today? David, Michael?
Always groovy, baby. Always groovy.
Yeah, definitely. Another day, another podcast. That's all we can really say, right?
Yeah, another day, another dollar, brother.
Yeah.
Right. Before we get to all talks we have for today's show, unfortunately, our good friend and co-host of the show, Chris Kern, could not be with us for this episode, and he's not going to be with us for our next episode, episode 5, due to prior engagement. So, again, we wish him all the best, and we look forward to having him back on the podcast.
Chris, we will miss you. Be back stronger.
Yeah, he'll definitely come back stronger. He's one of the most important members of this podcast, and again, we wish him all the best. So that's pretty much all we have to say. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to open the story with some definitely disturbing news. I'm gonna ask both of you, Alex, Michael, and David. I'm gonna ask all three of you to refrain from commenting until I give out all the information that's currently out there regarding the situation. I'm gonna give my own quick take, then I'm gonna open the floor to you guys. Is that all right? All right. So for those who have been living under a rock, there are some major allegations surrounding Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson, and I'm gonna go over the entire timelines for those of you who don't know. Houston Texans quarterback, and the Texans themselves, haven't been getting along at all recently, and Deshaun Watson has said that he wants out of Houston. So, but this actual story, the serious part that we're about to get into, it began on, I believe, Tuesday, when an attorney by the name of Tony Buzbee is currently filing a sexual assault claim against Deshaun Watson. So this is it first started from an Instagram post from Tony Buzbee. I'm going to read the social media post to you guys right now. This is I believe from last Tuesday, March 18th. So this is what Tony Buzbee had to say. I am extremely proud to represent those who have no perceived power against those who have perceived power. Things are changing in this country, in this great state, and in this great city. I feel like it's for the better for all of us. Today, we filed suit against Deshaun Watson. Too many times women have put up with behavior that we all know no one should put up with. Should we make excuses for the famous or those who hold special positions or quarterbacks or a local professional football team? I don't think so. All people are equal and all deserve dignity and respect. My dad was a butcher. My mother drove my school bus and worked a snack bar. Knowing what I know now, my mama has more dignity in her inky figure than most executives or coaches or politicians or famous athletes have in their whole body. This case we filed against Watson isn't about money. It's about dignity and stopping behavior that should be stopped now. Stay tuned for details. Let me say this. I'm a Marine. I'm not easily intimidated. If you have info or have been part of this, contact my office, cxattorneys.com. So that's what Tony Buzbee has to say, accusing Deshaun Watson of sexual assaults. And Deshaun Watson wasted no time responding to this. So again, this is from March 16th at 11:36 p.m. Deshaun Watson released this statement on Twitter. Quote, as a result of a social media post by a public-seeking plaintiff's lawyer, I recently became aware of a lawsuit that has apparently been filed against me. I have not yet seen the complaint, but I know this. I have never treated any woman with anything other than the utmost respect. The plaintiff's lawyer claims it's about money, but before filing suit, he made a baseless six-figure settlement demand, which I quickly rejected. Unlike him, this isn't about money for me. It's about clearing my name. I look forward to doing that. So that was the statement from Deshaun Watson. Now, fast forward 2 days later, and the attorney, Tony Buzbee, now has a total of 9 women that are accusing Deshaun Watson of sexual assault, and apparently this incident took place, or at least one of these incidents took place in December of 2020, so not really that long ago. And the instance was Deshaun Watson at a massage parlor was basically forcing the massage therapist to have like oral sex and touched a massage therapist with his male appendage, as I like to call it. So this is definitely a very serious situation. I'm gonna give my very quick opinion on this, and that is I have no opinion because I do not know all the details of this situation, because I only know like what's being reported, and like I only know the facts that are officially being reported. And the NFL has stated that I'm sorry, I have a few more things I want to mention before I give my opinion. The NFL is investigating. They have launched an investigation, and another thing that Tony Buzbee, the lawyer who followed the lawsuit, is like neighbors and apparently good friends with the Houston Texans owner. So people could say, the Houston Texans are behind this. They're trying to ruin his reputation. But you could also say, like, why would the Houston Texans want to ruin Deshaun Watson's reputation if they're trying to trade him? Because let's face it, right now, Deshaun Watson, like, until this situation gets resolved, is not getting traded. Like, if any team like actually trades for Deshaun Watson until these allegations are resolved, like that's just not good. That's not how you, or at least not how you should run a football organization. But you can also say that the Houston Texans aren't trying to trade Deshaun Watson anyway, because they've said multiple times we're not trying to trade Deshaun Watson. So I honestly, guys, I cannot form an opinion on this because I do not know all details. But all I will say is this: if Deshaun Watson is in fact guilty of these actions, that is despicable, and he should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law and the NFL. And that's all I have to say for now. What do you guys think?
Let me rap real quick.
Go ahead.
Honestly, was this woman was a color? Was it non-color? She was
they don't have the color yet.
Here's what I'm saying.
It's a total of 9 women.
If 9 women came up, I think it has something to do with the Texans as well. I'm starting to think that. Call me crazy. The Texans may have planted something in their seed. If here's the thing: if rape is a big thing and a big thing to deal with in sports, right or wrong, yeah.
Oh, it's definitely a big thing in sport. It's definitely a big thing that we
women
that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, here's the thing. If this happened in December, if this was happening all these years and he was in Houston, you shouldn't. I don't care how much he paid you to keep quiet. You should have said it right when it happened, like for the police notified. Yeah. I don't care how much I'm paying you. Say your action.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Lesson 1: never expect NFL owners to do the morally right thing.
No, here's the thing. I think if you want, Deshaun wants to leave the Texans.
Yeah.
Let him leave. Simple. Let him leave. He doesn't want to play for you anymore. You guys got rid of J.J. Watt. You released him. NFL, you want, just let the man leave. Release him and let him go on his own thing. Here's the thing. Man talking to God. Well, if Deshaun Watson did do it, he should go to jail, no question.
I said exactly. He should,
no question.
He should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
If he didn't do it, these women should go to jail for falsing a rape report, which is extremely illegal to do. Extremely illegal. I'm saying is a brother's getting paid. The white man, the white woman always want to keep him down. That's what happens. He's making all that payday. He's making the money. So honestly, we don't know who did it. One, we weren't in the room.
Yeah.
Two, we were one side. Deshaun Watson ain't talking about this yet.
He released a statement, though. He released a statement,
but he's not going to talk to it, address it. I think innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, I like to agree with you, Mike, because I do believe in innocent until proven guilty, especially when it's a situation like this. And here's the thing: under any other circumstance, if 9 women accuse, like, let's say, a professional athlete of this kind of behavior, in pretty much any other circumstance, like, we pretty much automatically assume they're guilty. And
yeah, but here's the thing: some women may want to do it for a payday, because the whole Bill Cosby scandal. Yeah. Sorry to change it off for sports, but the whole Bill Cosby scandal. Some of the women did it just to get a payday and lied about it.
All you need is one, though. All you need is like one of the women to not be lying.
But we don't know if they're lying or not.
Yeah, probably. I'm not saying that. We don't. I'm just saying we don't know.
We don't know. Probably they hooked up or something. She probably felt like, you know what, he likes me. I'm just gonna have sex with him. You know what I mean? If he raped her, keyword raped her, and I believe he's innocent until proven guilty. D-Man, what do you say on this? Because I'm very controversial. Ask anybody. D-Man, what do you got to say?
David?
I know I've been overhearing this from like Patriot Report or ESPN, but I hope it stops some point.
Yeah, definitely. Sexual assault, like, that's a very serious issue, as like no place in sports or our society, and it's definitely a very serious issue. Now going back to what I was saying earlier, again, if it was pretty much any other case where like 9 women, accuse one guy of this kind of behavior, that's definitely like would look off. I'm not saying it looks any different from Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson does not look good right now. I mean, when 9 women accuse you of this kind of behavior, no matter what it is whether you're innocent or guilty, it's not a good look. But I would be doing a disservice if I didn't look at all the facts and say there is some sketchiness to this. The fact that this lawyer, the fact that he and the Texas owner are apparently close, like, it's not that hard to have to bust. Now, I'm not saying that there's no way Deshaun Watson is guilty. I'm not saying that. We all should, whenever these accusations pops up, we should all take them seriously and at least hear from the possible victims. We should always hear from them, definitely, because we want women to come forward. We want victims to come forward, so that way these despicable men can be held accountable for their actions in the court of law. So, again, like, if you guys want my opinion on this Deshaun Watson situation, basically, I do not have an opinion until we hear all the facts come out and the NFL concludes its investigation, and then we know exactly what happened.
Honestly, for me, as a fellow black man, I honestly know how it feels when the government sees you as a certain person. I know we're not allowed to talk about it. I understand. No, if you're a black man, America wants to see you as 2 things: either a sports athlete or a musician. 3 things: a drug dealer, musician, or sports. They don't see you making it in life. And honestly, no disrespect, I can understand, know what he's going through. But however, the America wants to see us just don't succeed. But however, I think until you're proven guilty, he's done it. He did it. I think to have a trial, the NFL should like let him take off for the season, like take 5 games off, just for the trial.
We don't know how long this is going to go into. We don't know how long this is going to go into this season. It might be over before the season. Like, I'd assume they'd have the investigation done before the season. I'd at least assume
honestly. If he isn't, you gotta suspend him for like a couple of games. Like it reminds me of the
forget a
Jamie
couple of games. He needs to be suspended for oh my god. Like if this is true, then Lord knows how long he should be suspended.
This reminds me of the Jameson Winston.
Yeah.
The Jameson Winston trial when he allegedly raped that girl in Florida State.
Yeah.
Which he was innocent. Here's the thing. Some athletes aren't role models. We all know that.
Oh, definitely.
But here's the thing. We're people at the end of the day. Right or wrong. He did it. If he did it, he did it. If he didn't do it, move on. But honestly,
exactly.
Yeah, you got like you can say a statement. Oh, he raped me, but you need actual evidence. Were there bruises on your body? Because if he raped you, there's bruises on you. Like, did he
I don't know about that, Mike. Because what specifically what they're talking about right now, like he forced her to have forced her to have oral sex. Like, I don't think you. I think that counts as rape or sexual assault, regardless of whether he left the bruise or not.
Yeah, if he did, he did. If he didn't, he did it. The NFL should have a full-on investigation, so the brother.
That's pretty much what I was saying. And we on this podcast we should and everyone should definitely do not invalidate the potential victims. But we also shouldn't leave all the facts out and ignore, just the weird convenience and sketchiness surrounding the situation. Because Deshaun Watson, from what we know now, I'm just saying from what we know is people have raved about the character of Deshaun Watson, how he's a role model in the community, and he's everything you want from a franchise quarterback and your leader. So now we have seen before of people who have that image and then they turn out to be, not so good people. But from when we look at Deshaun Watson, this is the last thing I'd expect a person of at least what we thought his character to do. Alex, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. I don't really know how this investigation started and how Deshaun Watson goes on about it, but I think that it's best for him to have a couple of weeks off of the NFL and just be mentally minded, have a better mindset going forward, and being able to be with the NFL team.
Here's the thing, Alex. Again, I'd be shocked if this isn't settled before the season. I'd be very surprised if we don't at least have some sort of verdict before the start of the season. And I think this is from a football perspective. This is from all the things that this story entails. The last thing this is a football situation. This is an issue that is bigger than football. But if you do want to talk about the football aspect of it, again, like I said before, Deshaun Watson's trade value. There's no more talk of trading Deshaun Watson or if a team should trade for Deshaun Watson until this gets cleared up. None. Am I right about that, Michael?
You're absolutely right, my brother.
Oh, can I add on something?
Go ahead, David.
So going to the same topic, this is a good thing that this is on the off season, not during a regular season.
Yeah, I can hear your point. If this happened during the season, it would. Yeah, it definitely. I mean, I don't think it makes it any better that it's happening during the off season. But I do get what you're saying, David. I do get what you're saying. But
yeah,
we're gonna wrap this segment up by saying again, we don't like to talk about this type of stuff on our podcast. We're trying to be we try to be the candy store. We try to distract people from what's going on, from all the unfortunate stuff that's happening in our world. But when stuff like this pops up and it concerns a famous athlete like this, we can't shy away from it. We gotta tackle subjects like these head on. And I'm glad I was able to do it with all three of you guys, Michael, David, and Alex. I'm glad I had you to talk about this with.
Ain't no thing, baby.
Yeah. All right, so again, just to wrap it up, if Deshaun Watson is proving guilty, then again, shame on him, and he should be prosecuted by both the NFL and the court to the full extent of the law and the rules. But if he turns out to be innocent, honestly, shame on the lawyer for making this type of stuff up, and shame on the Texans, like if they are involved in this and they're trying to smear his name for whatever reason, then shame on the Texans. So that's all we're gonna pretty much say about it. But so we're gonna move on now to NFL free agency. And NFL free agency is in full swing, and the first story we're gonna talk about is kind of outdated, but Dak Prescott has signed a big time extension with Michael's Dallas Cowboys. So, Mike, I'm gonna give you the floor here. Give us your thoughts on Dak's contract extension.
Okay, everybody knows me. I'm two of my favorite football teams are the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Jets. I think, in my opinion, Prescott is coming back from an injury season, broken ankle, bad. I was watching the game at the crib, depressing. I was crying.
Oh yeah, it was an ugly injury too. I remember watching it. There was a game against the Giants, and the moment I saw it, I was like, "Oh."
I showed the game too.
You hate to see that happen.
And
really.
I think for me, you pay him what? Has a 4-year deal, $4.5 million.
Like 4-year, $160 million.
160 mil, 4-year, 160 million a year deal.
Yeah.
Honestly, in my opinion, Prescott's not the best player on the team. In my opinion, he's not the best player. Ezekiel Elliott is. But however,
I can understand that, but I think Prescott is more impactful to the success of the Dallas Cowboys than Ezekiel. Simply due to the positions they play. Again, because quarterback is way more valuable in today's NFL than running back.
But here's the thing: if Prescott injures his ankle injury, we're screwed because we just paid you a 4-year, $160 million deal. Honestly, I'm a Prescott fan. I was there when they drafted Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott.
Man, what a draft for the Cowboys.
When we went, then we had the best record in the whole NFC, in the whole NFC conference. We were the first seed. And in my opinion, I thought Ezekiel Elliott should have been the MVP and Dak Prescott should have been the Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. Hear me out. But here's the thing. They're like the dynamic duo in football and quarterback and running back. They're the dynamic duo. One can't play good without the other. Vice versa. Prescott needs Elliott. Elliott needs Prescott. We just proved it that year. We won 7 games. Not that good. Not good for us. Because for the last 3 years since we had Prescott and Elliott on the team, we made it to the playoffs. Am I right, Adam?
Definitely. Yeah, you're right.
But honestly, I think the deal was a little too high. But now Prescott has to prove it. And I'm that much paid. Don't make it wrong. Prescott's a good dude, a good quarterback, and he's the quarterback of my franchise. I want him to play like it's no tomorrow. Play his last game like it's his last. Play like he played his rookie year and his first year and his second year in the league. This is his 4th year. Him and Elliott's 4th year in the league. I want a championship. I'm going to say it's on record. If they can stay healthy, the Vince Lombardi Trophy will be in Dallas in North Arlington.
Oh,
be in North Arlington.
That's a hot take from Mike. That's okay. So
this is not my hot take. This is just
this is not Mike's hot take. This is just a hot take from our good friend Michael Cunningham.
Can I add on to that?
Go ahead, David.
I'm not even finished, man.
All right.
I'm saying, boys.
All right, let Michael finish, and then David, you can go.
Cowboys will win the NFC East because the Eagles are not even the favorite to win the NFC East. They're not even in the conference, even though they have a great quarterback in Jalen Hurts. But
even there are still some question marks. I mean, he played great at the start, but he kind of fell off a little towards the end. A lot of people, I've heard some people say, "Oh, the Cowboys overpaid for Dak Prescott." The official term is 4 years, $160 million guaranteed. That's $40 million a year. If you want to say, "Oh, Dak Prescott's not worth $40 million a year," I can understand that argument. You're paying him like he's like one of the elite quarterbacks in the league, and he's not on the Mahomes tier. He's not on the Russell Wilson tier. He's not in the he's not like in the Aaron. I don't think he's like in the Aaron Rodgers tier of quarterbacks. But here's the thing: he's still a really good quarterback. The Cowboys had two options here: either A, overpay for Dak Prescott, or B, like let him walk. I think Michael, as the Cowboys fan, you would have taken the former.
You got a point. All right, David, what you had to say?
Go ahead, David.
So my add-on to that topic, I know coming from being an Eagles fan, being involved with the Cowboys all these years, all I know is that there was a good contract sign that Dak has. It's going to be interesting. They're going to have an interesting season, but they need to go past the offseason first, and probably preseason if they have one, and then regular season. But we don't know what they're going to do yet. Because all we're doing is fantasy and trades, so it might be interesting. And the other topic I said about Eagles and Cowboys rival, they go on like every year. I remember it reminds me when I was a kid and teenager watching the games. That's the reason I love the game of football. And my dad played football, so did my uncle and my grandpa. He coached and played.
And I want to add on something. How big of a Cowboy fan I am.
Like had the Cowboys blanket.
For those of you, unfortunately, this is a podcast, so you can't see right now, but Michael Cunningham is holding up his Dallas Cowboys blanket. So, definitely, again, this is a move the Cowboys had to get done, and they got it done. So we're gonna continue talking. We're gonna focus mostly on the NFC for now. We're talking a little bit of Giants. The Giants, they've had an interesting offseason. After a lot of drama about regarding their defensive tackle, interior defensive lineman Leonard Williams, they finally got that deal done. They're paying I believe 3 years, $65 million, so that's $21 million a year. I think those terms are accurate. I'm not sure if they are, but similar to Dak Prescott, people are saying the Giants overpaid for Leonard Williams, and here's my take on it. It depends on what Leonard Williams does the next couple of years, and was last year a fluke? Because remember, Michael, you're a Jets fan. Leonard Williams, like what the Jets was, they took him like I forget where did they take him again? I think it was
round.
6. No, they took him first round. They took him, I believe, 6 overall, or at least in the top 10. And when he was with the Jets, he was considered to be like kind of like a bust. Then he comes to the Giants and in a very controversial trade in his first couple of games with the Giants didn't really do anything. So people are wondering, why did we trade for this guy? Another bad move by Dave Gettleman. And then this year he had a very impressive year. He had, I believe, 11 sacks. He was a force on the Giants defensive line, and he got his bag. He got a lot of money. And again, people are saying the Giants overpaid. Again, it depends on what last year for Leonard Williams was a fluke. Because if it was a fluke and he continues to put up double-digit sack type numbers and he continues to put pressure on the quarterback the way he did last year, you know what? I don't think it's that they overpaid for him as much as some people did. Now, if last year does turn out to be a fluke and Leonard Williams once again regresses, then yeah, it's definitely going to be looking as a bad contract for the Giants.
Well, for me, I think the Jets always get the bad deal of every freaking draft.
Yeah.
Let's see. When we got Geno Smith. Great.
Yeah.
I remember when the Jets got one of my favorite players, Michael Vick. I was like, yes, we got the biggest dog in the yard, the fastest quarterback in the league, Michael Vick. When we got Mark Sanchez from Stanford, took us to 2 AFC championships. Didn't do well. Disappointed me. I cried.
All right.
In my sleep.
All right.
Now, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we got one. Wait, before that, Michael, we got one more Giant story we gotta get to. Because for those who haven't heard, there are a lot of rumors on the Giants and former Lions wide receiver Kenny Golladay, and apparently the Giants had a visit for him today into tomorrow, and apparently Kenny Golladay wants to go to the Giants, and the Giants are definitely very interested in Kenny Golladay. And let me just tell you, for those of you who don't know, I'm a big Giants fan, and throughout the years, if you've heard me back at WMSC, if you've seen some of my ratings for the website then known as WG Sports, I have been very critical of the Giants general manager Dave Gettleman.
For the record, Adam hates him. For the record,
I do not like Dave Gettleman. Like, or at least I've been very critical of him during his time with the Giants. From the way he handled 2018, the team clearly needed to rebuild. What does he do? He tries to win now. He takes a running back second overall. He tries to build around a washed up Eli Manning at the time. And
what was that?
He was a washed up Eli Manning. I said it. At that point of his career, he was washed up. I'm not afraid to admit I love Eli, but at that point in his career, he was washed up. So,
ladies and gentlemen, I've been knowing Adam for 10 years. I've been trying to let him talk about Eli Manning for years. 10 years is worth the wait. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Yeah. From the way he mismanaged that to the way he mismanaged both Landon Collins and Odell Beckham Jr. Landon Collins, he let walk for nothing. Odell Beckham Jr. He signed to a big time contract extension, then traded him for in my opinion, an underwhelming return, and took on all that dead money. So I've been very critical of Dave Gettleman throughout the years. But I will say,
you guys got Jabril Peppers, Jersey's own, who's doing
very
good friend of mine.
Yeah. But here's the thing: I would be lying if I said, especially last year, and definitely in this offseason, if I have not been impressed with some of his moves. It was last offseason. He brought in James Bradbury, who was a Pro Bowl cornerback for them. He brought in Blake Martinez, who's been a tackling machine. Even though a lot of people were against the trade at the time, he brought in Leonard Williams and look what he turned into, and now they signed him long term. And if he can land the Giants, Kenny Golladay, because what was the Giants' biggest issue last year? Their offense. They had Daniel Jones regress from his rookie year. The offensive line, even though it's been better, it still struggled at times, and they had very little to no dynamic receivers. Evan Ingram couldn't catch a ball to save his life. Darius Slayton took a step back from his rookie year. So if the Giants can land Kenny Golladay, this would be a major sign for them, because not only does it fill a need, but it gives the Giants major flexibility for what they could do with the 11th overall pick. And I'll say this one last thing about the Giants: this offseason, they do have still have some holes on defense, but this offseason they need to get Daniel Jones as much help as possible to know whether or not they have their franchise score. They want to put Daniel Jones in a situation where he has no excuses going to 2021. Alex, you wanted to say something?
I think the Giants getting Galloway would be a great pickup, and even if they get a future wide receiver pick in this year's draft, I think Daniel Jones will be in great shape and
definitely. Even if the Giants do sign Kenny Golladay, that does not stop them at all from drafting a wide receiver with the 11th overall pick, especially if Smith or Jamar Chase falls to them.
100%, A-Dog.
Yeah, definitely. So a couple other moves in the NFC East. Washington football team, they signed Ryan Fitzpatrick and William Jackson III. So those are two big pickups for them. But we're gonna move on to Mike's hot take regarding one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time who just recently retired. Michael, take it away.
Honestly, for me, Drew Brees was the dude when I was a kid. I followed his whole career. When he played at Purdue, when he played for the San Diego Chargers, which is now the LA Chargers, which is no longer the San Diego team. When he went to New Orleans, he changed the culture. He changed the belief. That chant, man, made me want to play football, crack some eggs. When I saw that 1, 2, win, like that chant, get a brother fired up before pregame. Adam knows me. When I wanted that bastard dude send him for football and basketball, I listen to Drew Brees. Man, for me, for known as Hail Mary touchdown passes, Drew Brees is the greatest of all time. He has the best arm and the most touchdown passes between him, Manning, Roethlisberger, and Brady. I seen it. I saw it. We learned it. It was on ESPN that Drew Brees had the most touchdown passes in the league. Fact or fiction, Adam? It was on TV.
I gotta say fact. To talk a little bit about Drew Brees, you recently just announced his retirement.
He just announced his retirement.
Yeah, he just announced his retirement.
He's in his 40s.
Again, we wish him all the best, like in his future endeavors. Now that he's away from the game of football, and we're gonna talk about where he ranks among among all time. But before I say that, I want to say this about Drew Brees on the field. He was like the first one to come in like at a smaller height and dominate in the league the way he did. Like
absolutely, he was like a 5'8" quarterback.
He was not 5'8". He was, I believe, he's maybe 6 feet tall, which isn't like terribly short, but it's still like on the short side. And you see the way he could read defense and says like his accuracy is like he's like arguably the most accurate thrower of the football in NFL history. He was just he was just so much. Honestly, he was so fun to watch. And we're gonna talk about where he ranks all time. Like that's a completely different list in itself. But I definitely think he's top 10. He's definitely top 10 of all time. And I don't know if he's top 5, but he's definitely I think he's definitely in the top 10.
Honestly, for me, Adam, he's probably in the top 5 or top 10 greatest quarterbacks.
Definitely. So there's let's go over the categories. He's like honestly, Tom Brady's the GOAT. We all know that.
I gotta say
there's Joe Montana, Peyton Manning. I think that Peyton Manning is definitely top 5. John Elway, Dan Marino, Aaron Rodgers, and Drew Brees. I think he's either 6th or 7th. I think that's where I think he is.
Drew Brees made New Orleans Saints be a great football powerhouse for the last 15 years. Here's why. New Orleans Saints haven't been relevant ever since Hurricane Katrina. No, because he made him a great team.
I remember that.
I remember he made him.
Don't shush David, Michael.
I'm kidding. This is all love, David. You know I love you, David. I love you like a fat kid loves cake. Now, all joking aside,
okay.
Drew Brees changed the atmosphere of it. He made him he promised New Orleans a Super Bowl, and I believe February 7th, 2010, not 2000, I think 10, I believe.
That was my 14th birthday, I believe.
They won a championship. Against a future Hall of Famer, then Peyton Manning. That was the first time in history that 2 number 1 teams in the playoffs played against each other in the Super Bowl. First time in NFL history that 2 number 1 seeds played each other in the NFL Super Bowl. That was never been done. That was never been done.
Yeah,
and I say, Drew Brees, I think from 2010 to 2014 was the best quarterback in the league, in my opinion.
Ooh. I don't know about best quarterback in the league, but I definitely agree with you. He's up there. He was
better than Tom Brady for those 2 years. Tom Brady was in a rust.
Tom Brady, I'll give you, but did Aaron Rodgers win the MVP in one of those 2 years?
I believe he won it in 2011.
He won. I know he has 3. He won one in 2020, and he won one in 2011. I think he won one more. I forget the year he won it.
I can look it up.
All right, but yeah, definitely respect Drew Brees. Again, amazing career, Hall of Fame career, and we look forward to definitely seeing him enshrined in Canton, Ohio. So now we're done with Mike's hot take. We're gonna
wait. Hold up. He only won 1 Super Bowl in his career. He only won one Super Bowl. For
Yeah,
MVP
Drew Brees or
award,
Aaron Rodgers? But
Aaron Rodgers.
both of them only won one Super Bowl.
Aaron Rodgers has 3 MVP awards: 2011, 2014, and 2020.
Oh, 2014. Okay, 2014. So I was right. So I would definitely have Aaron Rodgers above him there. But yeah, he was definitely in the conversation for best quarterback during that time. But we're gonna move on. Speaking of the New Orleans Saints, for those who don't know what they're gonna do at their quarterback situation, well, you pretty much got your answer. They re-signed Jameis Winston, and they also extended I forget his name. Who's the other quarterback the Saints had? Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Oh, Taysom Hill. Okay, so they extended Taysom Hill. So that's what they're gonna do. So that's pretty much the Saints quarterback situation there. Also in the NFC South, the Buccaneers made some big moves. The Buccaneers have extended Tom Brady. And I gotta give some thoughts on that. It's definitely a risky deal, but I can't blame the Buccaneers at all because it's risky because we don't know like how much Tom Brady has left in the tank. But given what we saw this past postseason, we have to assume that Tom Brady has at least quite a little bit left in the tank, don't you say?
Honestly, I think Brady has at least more 3 years left in the tank.
What he's done, what Tom Brady has done, like, it's just
played
phenomenal.
for over 2 decades. Played in 2 decades.
Yeah,
It's never been done in the NFL. They played in the 2000s, 2010s, and in 2020. Honestly, I think he's going to retire when LeBron tires for basketball. That's the time.
I think Tom Brady will retire first.
I think they're both going to retire at the same time.
And I think Tom Brady will retire first. Alex, you had something you want to say?
Yeah, I'm just curious to see what the Buccaneers do in the upcoming draft. They could possibly get a backup quarterback in case Brady ends up going down or anything about that.
Yeah, they're picking 32nd, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that definitely gonna see what the Buccaneers are doing. They also the Buccaneers, they also re-signed Rob Gronkowski. That's definitely a big move, keeping Brady and Rob Gronkowski together. Can we go through NFL history? Like, can anyone remember the last time a quarterback and a tight end played together for so long? I can't remember.
You can't.
I mean, you could name playing of quarterback and wide receiver duos. You have Montana,
you had Jerry Rice
and Joe Montana. Drew Brees and Michael Thomas. Who else? Who else really?
I could do running quarterback and running.
Yeah, you could do that, but you rarely see like a quarterback and a tight end play together.
You had Tom Brady with Edelman over the years.
Yeah, definitely too. But you always see it all the time, so it's amazing, like the type of chemistry that Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski were able to connect.
Honestly, I think Gronkowski just wants to party until I think he's going to retire in the next 2 years because we all know Gronk is a party animal. He wants to party after every game.
Oh man, all right. Also, a big move the Buccaneers made. They re-signed edge rusher Shaq Barrett, outside linebacker Shaq Barrett. He was a beast for them in the Super Bowl. Him and Jason Pierre-Paul are like one of the best pass rushing duos in the league, in my opinion. And I was kind of upset when I found out the news because Shaq Barrett was an offseason target I had in mind for the Giants because as great as the defense is, they need a lot of help like on the edge. I know it was a long shot. I definitely thought that the Buccaneers were going to resign him, and they definitely should have resigned him because he's a major part of that defense.
Honestly, for me, the Buccaneers, I'm going to say this on record. If the Cowboys don't win the Super Bowl, the Buccaneers will repeat.
I cannot really argue with that unless something crazy happens. I definitely think the Buccaneers could be like a team to come out the NFC.
But I'm saying that Mahomes is going to make it out the AFC. This is redemption year.
I mean, I definitely think the Chiefs should be the favorite to come out of the AFC, but I don't know. This could be the year. We'll see what happens with Carson Wentz and the Colts. If Carson Wentz can return to his 2017 form, then I think the Colts like definitely become like a major threat to the Chiefs.
I'm going to say this on record. Carson Wentz is the most overrated quarterback ever in the history of football.
Oh.
And I want to hear what Alex has to say about that. And David had to say about
I'm gonna
that.
agree with you, Michael. I'm not a big fan of Carson Wentz either, but again, if he returns to 2017 form, like I definitely think that's a big boost for the
Overrated.
Colts. Alex, David, you want to respond to that?
I think that it was definitely time to refresh the organization of the Philadelphia Eagles. I feel like Jalen Hurts is gonna do really well, and I'm really anxious to see how Carson Wentz does with the Colts offense and see if he can carry them to a deep playoff potential.
Yeah, definitely. David, you want anything to say? You want to respond to what Michael has to say?
The overrated chance kind of reminds me of Bryce Harper on the Phillies, but that's off topic. But going back to football, I wonder if Carson Wentz going to deal with the coach. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see what Carson Wentz does with the Colts. We're running a little bit low on time here, so we're gonna quickly go over some of the moves in the AFC, specifically the AFC East. Michael, you're a Jets fan. The Jets made a couple of big moves, signing Corey Davis and Carl Larson. What are your thoughts on the moves the Jets have made?
I think it's good, but let's see. I think it's good. Good set. But I want to see what they could do in the season.
Oh, but yeah, we'll definitely we'll have to see what they do in the season. But I definitely like as a Giants fan, I do like the moves that the Jets have made. You know, Corey Davis, that's a big addition to our receiving core that desperately needs some weapons for whoever their quarterbacks are gonna be. The Jets definitely need to surround them with weapons.
As a Jet fan, the Jets should get
Carl Lawson is and Carl Lawson is going to definitely help with the defense. Like he's definitely a big time pass rusher. So I definitely like a lot of the moves that the Jets have made so far.
In my opinion, the Jets should get rid of their coach and Sam Darnold.
Well, they got rid of their coach already, and I definitely agree. I think it is time for the Jets to move on from Sam Darnold, just because like I just don't see like a happy ending between the Jets and Sam Darnold. Like I think that I love Sam Darnold coming out of college, but he has disappointed like with the Jets. Now you could say it's not only his fault. It's definitely not only his fault. The Jets have done him absolutely zero favors, you know, with the talent they surrounded him with how they had arguably like one of the worst coaches in NFL history trying to develop him. I definitely think the Jets have some responsibility, but I just don't see like the Jets and Sam Darnold having a happy ending. Now, is it a possibility that Sam Darnold could go somewhere else and thrive? That's definitely a possibility, but I just don't see it being with the Jets.
Honestly, I agree with you 100%, Adam.
Jets are in the process to rebuild.
Yeah, the Jets are definitely like in the rebuilding process. Speaking before we move on to our picks, do you guys ever hear of how much money the Patriots are spending?
Oh my God,
they're spending over $200 million in this free agency. It's weird because we've rarely seen the Patriots, spend this much in free agency. But again, the Patriots, they haven't drafted as well in recent years. They had a very disappointing year last year, so I think this is Bill Belichick, trying to push his chips in the middle of the table for our next year and saying, you know what, we're not going to rebuild without a fight. And whether or not that there's not to be a good or bad move, like we'll find out another time. But you definitely got to respect Bill Belichick's courage. For those who don't know, here's some of the moves the Patriots made. They've re-signed Cam Newton. They signed wide receiver Kendrick Bourne. They signed Nelson Aguilar. They signed Hunter Henry. They signed Andrew Smith. They've made so many moves. Detrace Rice Jr. That's another significant move. Matt Judon, I don't know if I pronounced his name correctly, but they've made a ton of moves. And for those of you like who are sick of the Patriot dynasty, honestly, I definitely think the Patriots are like on the tail end are definitely on the tail end, but they're not going to go down without a fight. All right, so we're running very low on time here, so we're going to move on to the final segment of our show every episode, and that is, of course, our bets of the episode. So to recap last week's bets of the episode, I once again, which I'm very, very mad about, I took another L. I picked the Nets to cover 8 points over the Knicks. The Nets did win the game, but they did not cover. So I am very mad about that. So I fall to 0-3. A good buddy Alex here also fell to 0-3. He had the Lightning over the Predators on the money line. The Predators blew out the Lightning. So Alex fell to 0-3 there. Michael improves to 2-1. He had the Clippers over the Mavericks on the spread -1.5. The Clippers covered that fairly easily, so Mike improves to 2-1. David took his first L of the season. He had the Warriors over the Lakers on the spread, and the Lakers completely dominated the Warriors. So David takes his first L of the season. He's now 2-1. And Chris got another win. He had the Hornets over the Canes on the spread -3. So Chris now improves to 2-1. So we normally go from best to worst and then Michael's, but unfortunately Chris is here, but he did text his bet to us. His pick is Winthrop over Villanova on the money line. So that's Chris's pick, and I'm just gonna go to my pick right now. I'm kind of, I don't want to say I'm picking entirely with my heart on this one, because let's face it, I'm 0-3. I need to start turning things around, so I need to make this bet count. So I wouldn't say I'm betting with my heart, but I would be lying if I said my heart didn't have at least some part in this. And my pick, it is a March Madness pick. I am picking the Rutgers Scarlet Knights over Clemson on the money line. I look at Rutgers, you look at Ron Harper Jr., you look at guys like Jacob Young and the way they performed this season, and I definitely think they have enough talent to get over what has been kind of a disappointing Clemson team, especially like during the second half. Now, Rutgers hasn't necessarily played well in the second half either, but I just look at them. I definitely think they have the talent necessary to get past the first round of March Madness. So I am picking Rutgers over Clemson on the money line. David, since you have the better record between you and Alex, you go.
This is a March Madness bet. I'm going for Liberty on the spread.
You're going Liberty over who on the spread?
Liberty versus Oklahoma State.
Okay. Liberty over Oklahoma State on the spread. All right. Alex, you're up.
So my bet of the week is gonna be Illinois over Drexel.
Repeat that again.
Illinois over Drexel for the money line.
All right. Last up, Big Money Mike.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Hold up. I'm just picking my thing correctly. Okay. This is strictly business, not personal. Okay. I'm going. I'm not thinking with my heart this week. I'm gonna pick. I can't believe I'm gonna be rooting for them. I'll never thought I'll say this over a million years, because I am a Duke Blue Devils fan.
Yeah.
At my house, my sister heard me say this. She would come on the next flight to Atlanta and hurt me, and my dad will disown me as his son. But this is Adam.
Again, it's strictly business.
This is strictly business, not personal. I'm going with UNC. Oh God, I feel dirty. I may need a shower. I got UNC winning against what's that team? Who are they playing against? Against Florida. That's the ACC tournament. What am I doing?
Wisconsin.
Against Wisconsin.
I'm saying Wisconsin. 4
points or more. I'm taking them. I'm taking the spread. 4 points or more.
All right. UNC over Wisconsin, 4 points or more. So
I feel dirty. I need to take a shower.
Oh man, yeah. Michael's gonna need to take a shower after making that. But again, as you said, Mike, it's not personal. It's strictly business. So
it's strictly business, not personal.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for our bets of the weekend. Any final thoughts before we wrap up the episode, guys?
Say support to your sports. Keep playing basketball, football, baseball, soccer, lacrosse, whatever sport you hustling. Make sure you watch us every Friday.
Every Friday and Monday.
Every Friday and Monday.
Again, we thank all of our listeners who tune into us, and again, we hope you tune in going forward. So that's it.
My lovely fiance, who's always watching.
Oh, definitely. Thank you to my girlfriend, who also I believe listens to this podcast. So again, both of us, we thank you, and we thank all of listeners. So that's it. This has been episode 4 of the Get Your Game Out podcast with George Truly, and Grassani, Michael Cunningham, Alex Reich, David Heller, and Chris Kern. If you like what you heard, leave a like and follow or subscribe to the podcast. Also, if you want to join the conversation, drop a comment or a review, and we may feature it in a future episode. Remember, my friends, those human juice is just fantasy. If you can imagine a world, believe it and dive in. See you next time, and until then, stay lit.
Y'all know the vibe.